Hey there, hi there, ho there. Welcome everyone to the final episode of Season 2 of Minecraft on the Project Hydra server. I'm your host, fandoman, and it is a pleasure to have you all aboard once again. I am back after 2.5 months of not making content. I am back on the server, and I thought I would take this time to give a little update as to what has happened in my life since my last episode. I actually went on vacation at the beginning of May, went to Iceland. It was wonderful. It was a beautiful country. The water was clean, the air was pure, the people were nice, and the sights were breathtaking. It was amazing. I recommend everyone go to Iceland at some point in their life. It is probably the most beautiful country in the world. Anyway, when I came home from Iceland, I went to bed and I woke up in the middle of the night with a very, very, very sore throat. And that's a big symptom of you know what. And after about 2 days of missing work and not knowing when I was going to get better, I went in for a test, and it turns out, wouldn't you know it, positive. So, yeah, work was nice enough to allow me another 5 days to stay at home, but I literally could not leave the bed. I was that sick. I was coughing all the time. I had the worst sore throat of my life, and coupled with the you know what, I also had influenza B, which means not only did I have the respiratory symptoms of you know what, but I also had the body aches, the headache, the sinus pressure, the everything that you get with the flu. So I had that for about a week, and I went back to work after feeling better, and it was all nice, hunky-dory. And then all of a sudden, I felt a headache coming on at work, followed by a sore throat, and then coughing. Lots of coughing. I couldn't stop coughing. It was so bad. For some reason, all my symptoms came back from 2 weeks prior, and they haven't gone away since. And I'm finally feeling well enough that I can actually record again. And it's been very strange. I've had up days, I've had down days. Sometimes I can go all day without coughing, and then sometimes I just wake up coughing and it doesn't stop all day. It's strange, and I just haven't been feeling healthy enough to actually make content. So that's where I've been. Alrighty here. Let's just put that in, turn that green, and done. I love green dye. It's one of the most useful colors to make things like green screens and pixel art and other sorts of things, but it is very difficult to obtain. The only way to obtain green dye is by smelting a cactus in a furnace. Therefore, cactus farms are essential for the production of green dye. So, on today's Handicraft Corner, I'm going to be showing you how to make a cactus farm. Why do I keep respawning in the cobweb house? Okay, for starters, you're gonna actually need to get an initial piece of cactus somewhere. And they only grow on sand, so the best place to find them is in a desert. Unfortunately, for this super flat single biome universe I've created for the Handicraft Corner world, there isn't any. Unless, after you've obtained as much cactus and sand as you possibly can carry, the next step is to start to build a collection system. That's more like it. What's going to happen is the cactus are going to grow above the water stream here, and eventually they're going to get broken by a special technique that we'll use with fence posts. They'll get picked up by the hopper and immediately smelted using the furnaces into that sweet, sweet green dye. So we're going to take some building blocks here, and we're going to go one from each corner and stack it up 2 blocks high. And we're going to go in a nice pattern all the way to the edge here. And we're going to continue that pattern on both sides. And we're going to go all the way down and we're going to put sand on each and every one of these. And it's going to look a little bit like this. As you can see here, we got, it's not quite a checker pattern, but more of a every other block pattern. Because what we're going to put in between these are any block that's vertically considered to be half of a space. That includes fence posts, stone walls, glass panes, as well as iron bars. So I'm going to set these up and add a variety of these so we can all see how each of these work in tandem. I've made an important discovery. It's not just the walls, the iron bars, glass panes, and the fence posts. Pretty much anything you place, as long as it will stay held up on its own in the air, will work for ensuring that the cactus breaks. Unfortunately, larger things like lecterns and full blocks can sometimes get the pieces of cactus to fall back onto the cactus and destroy themselves. Observe. See, every time this cactus in between the redstone breaks off, it just lands on itself and gets destroyed. Same thing with the lecterns. It just lands on the lectern and gets stuck forever. I ended up choosing the iron bars for the entirety of the farm because their hitboxes are the smallest. Therefore, when the cactus breaks and hits the iron bar, it has a greater chance of falling into the water rather than back onto that single pixel of space in between the cactus and the sand. So it will minimize lag, it will minimize losses to landing back onto itself, and it will maximize output and efficiency for the farm. Plus, it gives the farm a universal look, making it seem like it was made intentionally this way and not after several attempts of trial and error, which it definitely wasn't. This is Handicraft Corner. I'm a professional here, right? Right? So if your friends don't find you captivating, they should at least find you crafty. Now, if you would excuse me, I gotta go make some green. I thought today would be a good opportunity to just take a trip down memory lane and recap everything I built this season and say goodbye. Because I think with everything that's happened in the past 2 months, my creativity has been at an all-time low, and I just need a break just to finish my season and prepare for the next one. And I got some big plans already for Season 3 that I just can't implement in my remaining time in Season 2. So this is where it all started. Right here in my sailing ship, First Mate Featherworth and I started the season off crashing our ship through the interdimensional portal, landing here in the Nether, where we embarked on a survival journey, struggled with the hoglins and the piglins over there. Gas is constantly coming in and blowing holes in the base, but we made do. Thanks to our friends, we survived, and there's shimmers here. But yeah, I put in a very basic storage system behind these flaps, and I don't really have much in here anymore other than some junk and basic things I've dug out. Some horse armor and stuff. But oddly enough, my tunnel bore actually made its way here. And then True Monk came over and gave us a little redstone present of a little tune that played the Mandalorian theme. He's got these note blocks here right above my Netherwart farm. This was the starter base. It was more like a survival horror game down here than a Minecraft starter base. After surviving in the Nether and building a portal back to the surface, I created a small desert hut that I could use to gather surface resources, enough that I could actually build another base. So I was able to farm some stems, grow some cactus and other trees to acquire all the wood I needed to get materials. I lured some villagers over here, to which I also used to bring over to my main base. This was kind of my setup for all my operations here. Anything that I did behind the scenes in the early days of the season, I would get from here, or I would make here, or start from here in my acquisitions. This was the real starter base, and kind of my bridge point to starting the rest of the season. And after this, we formed Blocks Co. Blocks Co. Wholesome, the wholesale retail chain founded by myself, Domino Phoenix, Maddie Scandal, Danny Q, and Chairman Meow. We had this huge warehouse built. Domino laid most of the infrastructure to it. I designed the logos based off of an actual retail chain. Some of you may have heard of it or recognize the similarities. We talked about what we were going to sell, and then we actually opened it in the shopping district. Oh, and before I forget, this little ender pearl here, just floating in the water, is mine. I threw it there about 3 to 4 months ago, and it's just been floating in water ever since. That means, after all this time, if I was online on the server, anyone could have just closed that trapdoor and pulled me from whatever I was doing right here. What a prank that would have been. For Season 2 of Project Hydra, we decided to take on an ambitious project as a community, and that is the shopping district. We actually created a shopping district in the end of all things. And some people have old shops that they propped up over there, and they built it into the foundations of the end stone. And the end goal was going to be using one of these end nodes to teleport us in to a big spaceship, kind of like the one from Spaceballs, where it comes into view at the very beginning of the movie, and it just keeps going. So we start in the front, and we keep building shops further and further back. Blocks Co. Introduced a new kind of shopping experience where if you paid for a membership, you could insert your membership card to gain access to the shopping area. And then you can buy items in bulk or theme boxes for much lower than anyone else sells on the server. But let's see the final profits of Blocks Co. And a season's profits for us is 4.5 stacks of diamonds. 4.5 stacks of diamonds. That is not too bad. One of the ideas in a end-themed shopping district was whenever someone was done shopping and they had a bed on the server, usually at their base, what they could do is after they were done shopping, they would simply just hop into the fountain and it would teleport them right back to their base. It would be very convenient, wouldn't it? Speaking of large and expensive projects, this nether tunnel of mine took ages to build and cost tons of resources. This was the project that took the majority of my season, and it's a large L-shaped tunnel that connects my base to Maddie's and Danny Q's, Chairman's, and Domino Phoenix's. even though it's completely spawn-proof and it leads to all of our bases, it is by far the most expensive project I've ever tackled in Minecraft. And this vine goes all the way up to the nether roof where we have the gold farm that I created. This design by none other than Waddles is virtually server-proof in collecting the aggression of all these piglin. There's enough piglins here to fill the mob cap, and all I have to do is flick this lever, and I have a steady supply of gold nuggets flowing right into a sorting system. Ah, yes. My nether base. Home sweet home. I have my giant bottomless pit of crying obsidian in the middle with some dripping magma blocks up top to serve as my light source. And then I have 4 doors in each of the corners, each leading somewhere special. I got my transportation hub, which we just saw here, made out of copper and deep slate. But then it's a completely different world right here in my icy amethyst crystalline portal room, which leads to my other farms. This was going to be like an enchantment library of sorts, but I just turned it into a single manual acacia farm. And in this corner, we have my bedroom, complete with respawn anchor that automatically fills with glowstone, so I never have to worry about running out of things to respawn. I got the bust of Domino Phoenix, which she gave me early in the season, flower farm, storage system, and of course, first mate Featherworth. In addition to the corners, I also have straightaways, and the goal was to make them like this tunnel here. It's not quite finished, but it was supposed to just go down and down as far as the eye could see, making an optical illusion that would just continue forever, even though it would actually stop short as soon as the base ended. Down this hallway, I have a combination cocoa bean and netherwort farm. This next hallway, I have the Honeycomb Farm, picked up by a hopper in the middle. I have nearly all of these chests filled with honeycomb. This area here was going to go to my mining area, which I do have a portal at the very end of this hallway. But this one, completely finished, is my combination storage area, villager trading farm in the nether, by the way, as well as piglin trading. So all that gold that I mentioned from that gold farm comes into here, and I can push a button, and if there was gold in here, each of these guys would be dispensed an ingot, and then they'd start trading, and everything that they throw into here is filtered into these boxes here, and I could dispense all this, package it up into shulkers, and bring it to Bloxco. So that's the base. I hope you all enjoyed the tour, and here's a message from today's sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Observers. Hello, I am Agent F, and I'm here today to talk to you about security. And the most important part for your security in Minecraft is the Observer block. Always watching. Are you having problems with griefers and thieves sneaking into your house and stealing all your stuff? Observers will put a stop to those nasty players dead in their tracks. Are you fed up with thieves going into your mines and stealing all your valuable ores? With an observer security system installed, any would-be thief or griefer that wanders into your mine will be met with an unpleasant and lethal surprise. Keep your family safe by installing observers in every corner of your house. Hide them in trees to catch those pesky criminals in the act. Or even put one in a teddy bear to keep tabs on your children and to ensure their safety. Oh, by the way, observers can do stuff like this. Observers. Always watching. Always watching. Always watching. Always watching. They're watching.
They're watching.
One last thing I want to do before I end this season finale is pay a trip to Bonded Salt's base. Because just because my season is ending doesn't mean other people's seasons are. One thing I was aware of over Discord was Bonded Salt has this massive project he's working on, and all I know is it requires a bunch of blackstone. So I'm gonna go head over to his base, which I haven't seen in a very long time. Last I heard, he was creating like a really big island, and I think he's building some sort of fortress on there that requires a bunch of blackstone. And I believe if I just start flying out in that direction, I'm gonna hit his island. And I've never seen it before, so this is my genuine reaction to it. I think that's it. Coming into view. That looks like custom terrain. Goodness. Whoa. Whoa. Like, he's got custom terrain. I can see why he wanted blackstone. Yeah, he's gonna need it. This is his portal room. It's a lot of diamonds. Look at this. What a huge tower. And the landscape too, like all this is custom. Every single block in this island, on this island, was hand placed by Bonded. Kind of want to see what's underneath. Oh, this is cool. And it's not even a mob farm because it's above the ocean. I can't wait to see the finished product. But yeah, I'm going to leave you a donation right here. I think this will be a good spot to leave Bonded's gift. So I got all this for him. I hope he likes it. There we go. I gotta go to my base because there is a portal waiting for me into Season 2. Well, that was fun. Another season has come to the end, Season 2 of Project Hydra, and I was very happy to be a part of it. So I think it's time that we take off our Mandalorian armor once and for all and say goodbye to Season 2. There we go. Looks good. Alright, buddy. Let's go. Onward to Season 3. This bottomless pit of crying obsidian has served a purpose, and it is one of the few projects that I have actually completed. You may have seen me standing over it several times during intros and talking about other things during the season, and this is exactly the way I wanted to end the season, was jump into the bottomless pit of First Mate Featherworth here and take ourselves into Season 3. Come on, Featherworth. It's time. Come on. There we go. Here goes nothing.